Let's get started.
1973 Chevrolet Chevelle Malibu. 1973 Chevrolet Chevelle Malibu has the kind of unfinished charm that makes a classic car project hard to ignore. This blue Malibu is located in Piscataway, Rhode Island, and the price, $2,800, makes it an interesting starting point for someone who enjoys bringing old American iron back to life. The car shows 37,000 miles and features an automatic transmission with a factory 350 V8 and air conditioning. Inside, the blue double velour interior adds a period-correct touch that fits the early 1970s character nicely. The seller says the car is all there, and that the frame is in good shape. The passenger side floor pan has already been repaired, which is one less major task for the next owner. However, the Malibu currently does not run. The engine turns over, but the seller believes it has no spark. One important detail is that the car comes with no paperwork, so buyers should consider that before making a decision. This is definitely a project rather than a ready-to-drive cruiser, but the factory 350, solid frame, classic styling, and relatively low listed mileage make it an intriguing candidate. With some mechanical attention and restoration work, this Malibu could eventually become a seriously cool vintage cruiser. 1972 Chevrolet Monte Carlo LS Coupe 2D. 1972 Chevrolet Monte Carlo LS Coupe 2D has the kind of long, elegant shape that instantly screams classic American cruising. This green Monte Carlo is located in Bel Air, Maryland, and the price, $3,800, gives someone an opportunity to get into a distinctive early 1970s coupe without spending a fortune. The car has 90,000 miles listed and comes with an automatic transmission. Both the exterior and interior are green, giving the Monte Carlo a very period-correct appearance that suits its large personal luxury design. The seller provides only a brief description, with the full details reportedly available in the photos. That means interested buyers will want to inspect those images carefully and ask questions about the drivetrain, body condition, interior, and overall mechanical status before making a decision. Even with limited information, the Monte Carlo name alone gives this car plenty of appeal. These coupes have a recognizable presence, especially for enthusiasts who enjoy big American cars from the early 1970s. For someone searching for an affordable vintage Chevrolet project or cruiser, this Monte Carlo could be worth investigating. Its green-on-green look, automatic transmission, and classic two-door profile give it a cool starting point for a future restoration or personalized build. 1965 Rambler Marlin. 1965 Rambler Marlin is the kind of rare classic that can make even experienced car fans stop and take notice. This gray Marlin is located in Latham, New York, and the price, $3,800, makes this unusual barn-find project especially interesting for someone who enjoys cars you simply do not see every day. The car has 79,632 miles and features a manual transmission, although the seller explains that the standard transmission itself is not included. The 287 V8 engine is present and turns over by hand, giving the next owner a starting point for a complete mechanical restoration. This Marlin has been off the road for more than 20 years and needs a complete restoration. Despite that, the seller describes it as a solid car with no rust through in the trunk or floors. There is rust in the lower rear quarters, so bodywork will still be part of the project. The car comes with a title, which is an important advantage for a restoration project. For someone who likes unusual American classics, this Rambler could be a fascinating choice. Its rarity, V8 engine, solid structure, and long-stored history give it plenty of character and the potential to become something truly distinctive. 1971 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. 1971 Chevrolet Monte Carlo has the perfect recipe for a rough-around-the-edges cruiser, big block-style attitude, classic coupe looks, and a strong-running drivetrain. Located in Valley Stream, New York, this red Monte Carlo is offered at a price $5,500, with the seller open to reasonable offers. Under the hood sits a 400 CI small block V8 with a 4-barrel carburetor for bolt mains, nodular iron caps, headers, and dual exhaust. Power goes through a TH350 automatic transmission with column shifting. The seller says the Monte Carlo starts, runs, and drives very well. This is definitely not a show car, and the seller makes that clear. The trunk and floor need attention, while the windshield has a crack. Because of its age and condition, bringing a trailer is recommended unless you live nearby. The car is being described as a great winter project, especially for someone who wants a strong drivetrain and plans to improve the body over time. With two other classics taking up space, the seller wants this one gone. For a buyer seeking an affordable 1970s Chevrolet with serious mechanical character, this Monte Carlo could be a fun project with plenty of potential. 1967 Oldsmobile Delmont 88. 1967 Oldsmobile Delmont 88 is a big, bold survivor that looks ready for its second chapter. Fresh out of long-term garage storage, this red Oldsmobile is located in Airville, Pennsylvania, and the price, $4,900, makes it an intriguing option for someone searching for a solid vintage cruiser project. Under the hood is a 425 V8 paired with an automatic transmission. The seller says the car starts, moves, and stops on the lot, although it will need to be gone through carefully before becoming a reliable road car. One of the biggest positives is the super solid frame. The floors and trunk have only minimal rust, and are not expected to require panel replacement, although repairs will still be needed. The bottoms of the quarter panels and front fenders also need attention. The car has 100,000 miles listed, along with a black interior and a clean title. The seller also reports no significant damage or major problems. Cars like this are becoming harder to find in solid condition, especially with a large V8 still in place. For an enthusiast who enjoys rescuing stored classics, this Delmont 88 offers plenty of old-school presence and a promising foundation for restoration. 1972 Ford Turbocharged Pinto. 1972 Ford Turbocharged Pinto is definitely not your everyday Pinto, and that unusual combination is what makes this project so interesting. Located in Westtown, New York, this white Pinto is offered at a price $1,800, making it one of the more affordable ways to get into a seriously unconventional custom build. Instead of its original setup, this Pinto shell has been fitted with a 2003 Mini Cooper turbo chassis welded underneath it. The seller says the car is currently on the road, but there is still plenty of finishing work left to complete. Several parts are included with the sale, including a set of front CV axles and one front strut. The seller recommends installing these parts before considering the project finished. With 160,000 miles listed and an automatic transmission, this car is clearly more about the custom engineering and unique concept than originality. The seller is letting it go simply because there is not enough time or space to finish the build. That could make this a great opportunity for someone who enjoys unusual automotive projects and has the skills to complete the remaining work. For a creative builder, this Pinto could become a seriously entertaining custom. Its Mini Cooper turbo chassis and compact classic body create a combination you are unlikely to see parked next door. 1970 Plymouth Fury III. 1970 Plymouth Fury III has the kind of big, original American car personality that instantly brings back the classic cruising era. This tan Fury is located in Salem, Illinois, and the price, $6,000, makes it an appealing choice for someone wanting a mostly original vintage cruiser with a solid foundation. The car has around 81,300 miles listed, while the seller mentions approximately 82,300 miles, and it is powered by a 318 engine with an automatic transmission. It was kept in a barn and remains largely original, giving it plenty of old-school character. A long list of recent parts has already been installed, including a distributor, wires, spark plugs, coil, starter, fuel pump, fuel tank, and fuel sending unit. The seller says the Fury starts right up and runs and drives well. The brakes work, although the front driver's side brake needs attention. The brake lines are reportedly good, with the wheel cylinder needing service. The car and frame are described as solid, which is always a major advantage when considering a classic from this era. For anyone who enjoys big body Mopars and relaxed vintage cruising, this Fury 3 could be a fun survivor. It has original character, a dependable 318 foundation, and enough recent work to make it worth a closer look. 1961 Ford Galaxie. 1961 Ford Galaxie is the kind of classic that looks right at home in an old-school cruise night lineup. This blue two-door hardtop is located in Mason, Illinois, and the price, $4,000, makes it an interesting project for anyone searching for a sharp vintage Ford with plenty of potential. The car has 12,345 miles listed and comes with a newer 302 engine and C4 transmission, while the original engine and transmission are also included. The seller says the interior is nice, all the glass is good, and the trim is complete, with plenty of additional parts included. A number of new front-end components also come with the car, giving the next owner a useful head start. The seller has heard the engine run, but the picture transmission will need to be installed before the car is properly put together. The body is described as great, and the seller calls it a sharp car that you simply do not see very often. It also comes with a clean title, and is being sold as the final car from the seller's father's collection. For a classic Ford enthusiast, this Galaxie could be an easy and rewarding project. Its two-door hardtop styling, nice interior, complete trim, and newer 302 make it especially interesting. 1964 Chevrolet Nova. 1964 Chevrolet Nova has that simple, honest look that makes an old Southern survivor especially appealing. This white four-door Nova is located in Rainsville, Alabama, and the price, $3,900, makes it an affordable classic for someone who enjoys original character and hands-on projects. The car has 99,999 miles listed and features a 3-speed manual transmission with a classic column shifter. The seller describes it as a local Southern vehicle with very minimal rust. One especially cool detail is the Fort Payne High School parking decal from 1972, giving the car a little piece of its own history. The front passenger side fender has been replaced and still needs paint, while the rest of the car has developed a nice patina appearance. The seller says it was running and driving when purchased but later sat for several months, and now is not getting fuel to the carburetor. The fuel pump works, so the seller believes the fuel tank may need cleaning because fuel is not moving through the lines. Extra parts are included in the trunk. For someone wanting an affordable vintage Chevy with personality, history, and minimal rust, this Nova could be a fun project to bring back onto the road. 1976 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme S Coupe 2D. 1976 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme S Coupe 2D brings classic 1970s American style in a package that looks ready for someone to enjoy. This gray Oldsmobile is located in Memphis, Tennessee, and the price, $5,000, makes it an interesting option for anyone looking for a vintage coupe with a straightforward starting point. The car has 74,000 miles listed and uses an automatic transmission. It features a blue interior and a gasoline-powered drivetrain, giving it the familiar combination expected from a classic American cruiser of this era. The listing describes the vehicle as being in good used condition, with no significant damage or major problems reported. It also comes with a clean title and is described as a one-owner vehicle, which adds an appealing piece of history to the package. The car has been paid off, providing another straightforward detail for a potential buyer. Although the seller's description does not provide extensive mechanical information, the available details suggest a classic that deserves a closer look. For someone who enjoys the styling of mid-1970s Oldsmobiles, this Cutlass Supreme S could be a fun addition to a collection or a comfortable vintage cruiser. Its classic coupe shape, low listed mileage, automatic transmission, and one-owner history give it plenty of appeal for the right enthusiast.